Good afternoon. It is the 7th of June, 2023, Wednesday afternoon here. Steamy and rainy here today so far, but when isn't not coming a little bit of rain in the summertime? Or, I guess, late spring. What we got on the table today is a game called Middle East Smackdown, the final conflict in the Middle East, a board game for 2 to 4 players, and it is brought to you from your friends at G-Spot Games. They're the same people who brought such classics as Prison Bitch and Crack Whore and the Porn Masters. And no, I'm not kidding. Those are actual games that G-Spot Games did. Seems like that they do edgy games. We've even covered one game. It's called a Gang War LA, which was an Axis and Allies clone a bit. And it was done with a map of LA and gang neighborhoods and gang wars. And so we're going to take a look at this one. Straight off, let me tell you, I don't expect too much. Don't expect no great quality products. As far as I can tell, as far as I've been able to track down, it looks like G-Spot Games is just an alter ego of Guild of Blades Publishing. They do have their own website and stuff, but if you look at their stuff on War Game Vault, I think it falls under Guild of Blades. But it's just everything's tongue firmly planted in cheek on everything in here. And the designers are Bob Dawson and Saul Greenberg. And they exclusively make games for G-Spot Games, so I'm assuming that's a pseudonym or a pen name. And but let's get into this and let's look at this. First of all, white box with just a paper glued around to it. 2 sheets of computer paper maybe glued around, or one. But yeah, no quality products there. We're not going to expect quality products at all. And they're going to look at the blurb in the back. Middle East Smackdown is a 2 to 4 strategy board game set in the Middle East. Players take control of the USA, Israel, Syria, Iran, Iraq, and Lebanon for the final conflict in the Middle East. Terrorists sponsored by Iran and Syria have pushed the U.S. too far, and now it is full-scale war. The U.S. and its allies are now out to conquer Iran and Syria completely. Well, I think we've maybe we conquered them completely. We still occupy space in Syria, plenty of it. They have overwhelming, when they say they mean the U.S. and their allies, have overwhelming technological superiority and the best trained troops in the world. But Iran has some good defensive ground, lots of men for cannon fodder, militant groups, terrorist insurgents, and its most potent asset of all, the liberal politicians within the U.S. House and Senate. Can Iran manipulate the media and its liberal allies to get Congress to cut funding from the U.S. military in order to stave off conquest and win the war? Can the U.S. military complete the war with the forces it has in the fields if funding does get cut? That's just an interesting, it's already interesting that Iran and Syria would be the allies there for the fight in the Middle East. But we'll see. If you see here, you have leaders from, what year was this made? 2007 something maybe. Osama bin Laden still on there. George W. Bush still on there. Just a crowd of miscreants there, and we do have a D6, so wasn't even expecting that. Component qualities just went up a little bit better. All right, so let's see here. Nothing else in that box. Cool. Like I said, the box, nothing to write home about. And the counters. Let's see here. What do we got? Start off with counters, look like. So, it's the Syria society counters look like there. Lebanese militant groups. Okay. Contact paper on the counters. I wasn't even expecting that, to be honest with you. You got contact paper, so you can glue them to poster board or something. That's the U.S. and it's Israel there, and Iran. Okay. Oh, they're kind of hard to read. It is what it is. It looks like they're using, oh, kind of ink that is. There's Iran. A lot of counters, so Iran Air Force maybe. Iraq, Jordan. Speaking of Jordan, I got a funny story of entering Jordan. Not long after Israel and Jordan peace deal, and getting pulled off of a bus for at a border crossing, which is a neat little story. And I was playing chess. That's why I can't hardly read that at all. So that's Israel. All right, Syria, Palestinian Authority, I guess. Gas refinery. Okay. Iran. There's a Nancy Pelosi marker. Yeah, she's been around a long time. Unfortunately, most of them have, and unfortunately, they've got fabulously wealthy, while most of us didn't. Because, so that's not a Nancy Pelosi rant. That's just a politician in general rant, a duopoly rant. Not a big fan of some of what our politicians do. But the counters, well, what is this here? Well, that is cardboard cardstock. It's not bad that you can use to mount your counters with. All right, that isn't too terrible, I guess. I can do that. It's a lot, but that's the thing. Sometimes it becomes a whole craft project to do for a game, right? And when it gets to be too much, sometimes I just rather not fool with it. Okay, I got a map. Part of a map looks like. Let me move this here. These counters. Alright, looks like maybe two-piece map. Whoop, knocking stuff off. Two-piece map that has a border that I would, if I'm going to play this, I'm probably going to cut and might tape the map even, or I'd cut it off. I'm not folded in. I'd tape the map. All right, is that it? No, this looks like a piece of map as well. And it is, so it's a three-piece map. Let's overlay it. So it's not a small map. You've got cut fun into the troops chart. You've got a U.S. Liberal cut and run chart. Cut fun into the U.S. Liberal. Oh man, U.S. Liberal cut and run, cut fund into the troops chart. All right. Okay. So the map again. Terrible map. Just regular cardstock. You're gonna have to tape it together. You're gonna have to do a little thing there. But I'll tell you one thing they did do that makes sense is color coordinate. I believe some of the counters and at least the counters and some of the counters and the lands, it looks like. So UN nuke inspectors option, Pelosi shield option. I'm intrigued. Intrigued. Right? That's a resource chart. Okay. Look at that here. Some more charts. So Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq. The turn sequence looks like it's Israel, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Iran, the U.S., and Saudi Arabia. Okay. Agree with that. I think that's probably a good little turn order. You have the U.S. going last. These are turn orders, and these are movements, cost. I like buy charts a little bit. I'm starting to wonder if this may not be another sort of Axis and Allies clone, right? All right. Buy charts. See if we can find anywhere we can find a rule book. And here it is. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. We might have a step order out of order. Page 6. Of course it is. Page 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, when it's not in book form, it gets, especially when it's this thick, it gets kind of too much. Kind of too much. I'm just trying to find sequence of play here. All right. Step 1, political options. Step 2, insurgents units. Step 3, counter-insurgency. Step 4, militant groups. Step 5, pay for troops. Step 6, land movement. Step 7, air movement. Step 8, air combat. Step 9, military attacks. All right. Step 9, land combat. Step 9 is artillery attacks and then land combat. So that's what you're doing. You're doing all your attacks in step 9. Step 10, land combat. Well, looks like they've did something weird with the steps there, but okay. Step 10.5, combat against militant groups. Step 11, hunted insurgents. Step 12, buy units. And step 13, naval actions. Yeah, look, there's a few naval actions. There's the Red Sea. There's, is it Suez? Or Aqaba. Step 14, place new units. Step 15, land aircraft. And step 16, collect resources. Then other thoughts. When your side loses an original homeland territory and if another nation on your side reclaims it, the new nation does not get to own its land and collect its resources. It is returned to the control and ownership of the new nation that began the game owning it. Okay. Well, so it is what it is. Middle East Smackdown. G-Spot Games. I can already tell. Will I ever get to this? I don't know. Theoretically, I want to get to all of my games. Every one of them, go through them. And I've been trying to. I got reviews I need to post. I've got thoughts on some games I need to post. This here is just such a oddity, and really I didn't buy it to play. Sounds stupid. I bought it just to look at it and to read the rules. Maybe after I read some of the rules, see what it is, maybe I will end up playing it. But man, like I said, the problem is the rules seem to be written okay though. That it's just such a hassle with all this stuff. But you get what you pay for. It's $15. Is it worth that? To me, it is. Just for the comedy of it. But maybe to you, no. Who knows? But anyways, go to G Spot Games. Check out what they got. I've bought a few of them just because the price and some of them are way low. So it is what it is. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon and be good. Bye-bye.